All right, so let's open this up in code. I'll just type code space dot inside my Dwarf Underground directory. And I see some files here. I see a public directory and a source directory. And some other stuff out here in the root directory, including static HTML and static CSS. So this is the page as we just viewed it in the web. This is a static HTML version of the thing that we want to turn into React. But the rest of these files have to do with React. And there's a couple important ones before we even go in here. So git ignore tells it some files that should not be added to the Git repository. So even as we make our commits, certain files will not be added to the repository ever, including a folder called node modules, which I don't even see. So here's the next most important file, package.json. It is a JSON file. As you can see, it looks like JavaScript object notation, except there are double quotes everywhere. This lists our project name, version, whether it's private or not. It actually isn't, so you can change that to false if you want to. Dependencies, then, it lists the dependencies. And this project was created with something called Create React App. The nice thing about that is we end up with very, very few dependencies. And then we have some scripts that we can run. So this all has to do with package management. Who's used a package manager in any context before? Like on Ubuntu, you have apt-get or something like that. Or you have, what have you used? Oh, okay, what about you? Apt-get? Yeah. So same concept, but for JavaScript. So a lot of programming languages have these things for installing dependencies. So if we need a third-party script, we're going to install it using a package manager instead of just like going out, finding the script and downloading it manually. We're going to make it easy by listing it in our dependencies. So then we don't want to put all those scripts that we're dependent on inside our Git repository. We just list them here, and then anyone who clones our repository can just install them themselves. Did you have a question? Okay. Just open Visual Studio Code manually and open that folder. Shift Command P inside Visual Studio Code once it's running. Shift Command P, just type shell and see if you have install code command and path. Also double check that you actually installed Visual Studio Code inside your applications directory and are not running it out of downloads. Because if you're running it out of downloads, that command won't work. So that could be the problem. So it lists some dependencies, and we need to actually have those on our machine. So we can do that with yarn install. NPM install also works, but yarn install is faster. So we will use yarn if we have it. Yeah, Ashley.
I cloned the Dwarf Underground, and I went to open it up, and there's no files in mine, so I think it might have messed something up when I cloned it. I have no idea.
That doesn't sound right, yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll have a look in just a sec. So run yarn install inside your Dwarf Underground directory, and what you'll see happen is all of a sudden there will be a node modules folder that wasn't there a moment ago. So that's how this works. That's how this package manager works. Now the package management system we're using is NPM, Node Package Manager, and that's a big service in the cloud that hosts all these open source JavaScript packages. We're just using a different client for NPM. Instead of using NPM itself, we're using Yarn. Because, like I said, Yarn is just kind of faster and better, I think. Faster, no question about it. And so then you'll end up with node modules, and you'll have a node modules that is full of a whole lot of stuff. Despite the fact that the dependencies listed here, we had 3. React, React DOM, and React scripts. And yet our node modules folder has all kinds of stuff. That's because the cool thing about package management, it also installs any dependencies of your dependencies. And it turns out React scripts has a lot of dependencies. And that is kind of its entire purpose, in fact, is to roll up all these dependencies into one thing that you can add to your project.
Can you go back to your terminal for a second?
Yep, so I just ran yarn install. And that should create your node modules folder.
nothing. But when I first ran like the git clone, it like froze up, and I had to close out of it. So I don't know. If
Okay, so if you do an ls there, you just see nothing. Okay, delete the directory and try cloning it again. Okay, go up a level, cd.hut. Hang on.